What's up guys, Jim Collector here, back with another unboxing and review, and today we're checking out the one, the only, Baylan Skoll from the Ahsoka series. Honestly, in my opinion, Baylan and Shin were probably the most exciting thing to come out of that show. Besides, of course, live action Thrawn was pretty exciting to see as well. But guys, this video isn't about Thrawn, it is about this legend right here. So without further ado, let's get stuck right into the unboxing. Alright guys, let's get stuck in. So first of all, the box art is really nice. It is Star Wars, so it is pretty much like all the Star Wars box art we've seen. So you of course have Baylan Skoll on the front here, looking pretty epic. You've got the nice shiny Star Wars logo on the front, and then of course you've got this wraparound decal here with your normal picture on the side, which always bends and is quite annoying. And then you've got all your whodunits and stuff down here, and your nice shiny little Disney logo as well. Pretty blank on the side, more Star Wars logoing on the top and on the bottom, and that's pretty much it. But if we do slide this off, we have a nice little inlay, and this is kind of how the inlay looks. I think it's a really nice piece of artwork. I always wish that I could figure out, or well, not figure out, but find the time to put these on display, because they make for nice little posters. And here we have our first look at Baylan. So taking him out of the box, oh, there is this. That came out with it. That doesn't normally happen. It's quite interesting. We pop him back there. And let's see everything he comes with and get our first look at the figure himself. So, I tell you what, I'm going to go straight in and look at Baylan because I'm quite excited to see what he looks like. And here he is. And there is that head sculpt, which I've heard some pros and cons on. Some people say they think it looks soft. I have to say, in hands, the skin texturing is really nice. The beard and hair did come out better than I was hoping. I was a little bit worried about that beard, but there's definitely, it does look a little bit toyetic, the hair piece there. But the actual sculpt itself looks fantastic. He's not as heavy as I was expecting, I won't lie. He's a little bit lighter than I had expected, but straight out of the box, he looks really nice. I really like the detailing that they've put in his outfit as well. And of course, you've got the shoulder pauldrons and this kind of like medieval knight style armor, which looks really nice. But I'm going to put him to the side for now, and we're going to see what he comes with. So in this first tray, you do of course have a whole host of hands and a lot more plastic that we'll get out of the way. Let's go straight to the base because we know what this is going to look like. And here is your base. It's pretty much your standard Star Wars base at this point. Nothing too fancy. I do kind of like the brushwork on this. It's a bit worn down, which makes sense. But yeah, nothing too special. We do, of course, have two lightsaber hilts, one USB-C and one that's not as well. These are really nice hilts. I like the hilt that Baylan had in the show. It's just a big, beefy looking lightsaber. Kind of reminds me of the crossguard lightsabers that you would get in Jedi Fallen Order. Quite similar to that. It's a big boy, that's for sure. And then, of course, you've got your USB-C version here as well. These are nicely painted, lots of good dry brushing on here. Hot Toys always does good work on their lightsaber hilts. Of course, we do have the corresponding blades as well, one that is a bit of a swooshing movement effect, and then your standard blades. And of course, these are not so much a red color, it'll be easier to see in this one, but more of that orange kind of color from the show, which is, I mean, the first time we've seen a lightsaber this color, I think, on a 1/6 scale figure. So that's exciting in and of itself. We'll check out what this looks like lit up later on in a bit of a test, because I hear they are getting better with their light up functions on the sabers, but we will see. Right then, so moving on to the hands. So he has quite a lot of hands, I won't lie. So there is obviously one for his right hand and one for his left. So let's take up one of the right hands first. Here we go. This is one of his hands, and they're quite nicely done. I will be honest, the paint and detailing on his gold ring looks a little bit sloppy. A little bit rough around the edges there, not exactly perfection from Hot Toys, but the hands look nice enough. They're all pretty much plated with armor, and they have nice texturing on the glove fabric as well. So although it is molded plastic, it does look like real leather. All of these, what I'm going to call force effect hands. So you've got kind of your choking hand here, grasping hands. Not sure exactly what this hand is. Kind of a come hither hand maybe. And then you've got this indication hand as well. I'm trying to remember the scenes from these. I'm gonna have to rewatch that show. It's such a good show. Maybe I'll watch the edited version though, the shortened down. But those are your force gesturing hands. And then you have what I'll call the fisted hands. So obviously you've got two lightsaber gripping hands right here, one for the left and one for the right. Two basic fisted hands. And then you've got this gesturing kind of fisted hand here, which I'm not too sure what this one's all about. So that'll be interesting to find out later. That is Baylan's cloak, and it looks quite nice as well. I believe it is wired. Yeah, there you go. So it is wired, so you can kind of mold it and shape it as you like. It has a pleather bit at the top here, so concerned for flaking. On the hood, of course, the hood is wired. Famously, these are an absolute nightmare to kind of get to sit looking natural, so we'll see if we can get a natural looking pose, but it's nicely done. It looks like good quality fabric as well. There's not much to be said about this cloak in terms of detail because there isn't a lot. It's basically just kind of a black grey cloak, but we'll have some fun posing him up. Here we are with pose number 1, and nothing fancy for this one, but you don't really need to do much to make this guy look like a total badass. This is such a simple pose, but really captures how imposing of a character he is, both in his stature and also that kind of quiet, calm menace that he had throughout the series. Now, if you're a museum pose guy, a bit like myself, then this is a great option for you. For me, I normally think that a good museum pose like this has the best results when it comes to presence, especially for this kind of a character. But guys, we've admired this figure enough. Now it's time to talk about the biggest negative on this piece, and it's something that bothers me a fair bit. So guys, let's get straight into the issues with the boots. So let's talk about these boots. I love the split cut, but the top half of the boot feels cheap and flimsy. They also get out of place easy, and the ankle joints aren't quite as strong as I'd like, which makes posing him a real pain in the ass. This is the biggest flaw this figure has, and feels like Hot Toys kind of cut a corner here. Now looking at the rest of the outfit, I can tell there definitely weren't any corners cut here. I absolutely love the armor design on both Baylan and Shin, especially with that medieval styling that they went for. The detail on his tunic is incredible, and the material used definitely doesn't look cheap. It looks to be made of suede, but I could be wrong about that. Even the back of his tunic looks brilliant with the different clasps that he has. The subtle colour as well, with the green and the tunic and then the blacks and the greys throughout, is really well done. Moving on to the head sculpt, the more I look at this, the more I like it. Hot Toys always do their best sculpts working on older characters. The details on the wrinkling and the creases of the skin are amazing, and they did a fantastic job capturing Ray Stevenson's likeness here. I'd say easily a 9 out of 10 for me. Spending more time with it and taking photos, the beard and hair definitely doesn't look as toyetic as I initially thought. On this, I will say though, the quality of lighting really does make a big difference. So far I'm loving this figure, and it's really impressed me with how good it actually is. But now let's check out the light up saber function and see if they really have improved this. So you can see it's not the brightest. Honestly, it looks no different to my Kenobi Vader or the Grand Inquisitor. It looks slightly better with my main lights off, but this isn't how I really plan to display him. And here it is with all the lights off, where all you can see is a red beam. So really, it looks okay, but I wouldn't say it's great. Honestly, for me, I won't bother lighting this up, but I may consider a custom LED saber at some point in the future. Alright, and here we have Baylan all cloaked up. I actually really like this look for him. How freaking imposing does he look right here? Honestly, I feel even more sympathy for those New Republic personnel who got absolutely butchered by him in the beginning of the series. The cloak is really easy to work with as well, which is nice, and the hood is probably my favourite cloak hood so far. So easy to shape it and actually make it look decent, or at least I like to think it looks decent here, but I could be wrong. Time for our final pose. I kept him cloaked, but gone for more of an action pose this time around, and you know what? This may be the one. I think that I'll display him like this. I love the cloaked look, but you also can see all the amazing details in the rest of his outfit, and I just hate to cover those up. Posing wise, you can do almost anything you would need with this figure. Bit limited with raising his arms above his head and basically no ab crunch or swivel, but I don't think that's too big of an issue. The biggest letdown is definitely those damn ankle and split cut boots. They could be annoying, and as I said earlier, the ankle joints are a bit weak and he toppled over a couple of times when testing a few poses, so definitely be careful with that. Right, finally, it is rating time. I'm going to give this figure an 8 out of 10. It performs well in all four main areas for me, which are likeness, obvious 9 out of 10 as far as I'm concerned, shelf presence, has this in spades, build quality, other than the ankles, hugely impressed with the quality here. Posability, he can pretty much pull off any pose I would need him to, but the ankles do hinder this slightly. So guys, that ends our video here. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing and review. As always, this is Jim Collector and I look forward to seeing you in a future video.